Over 2 years ago, I started my YouTube channel, and the second video I posted was about my desk setup. A lot has happened since then with my workspace and in my life, so I thought it would be really nice to revisit it and give a quick update on what has changed, what has remained the same, and where I'll be going with things. So let's get to it. The central idea behind my setup remained the same. It was intended to be a space for productivity, creativity, and comfort. I used to have this budget desk from Amazon, but I was given the opportunity to review a really nice standing desk. After having this thing for the past 2 years, I can say that it's just really great. It fits the rustic aesthetic perfectly, and it has a lot of room to place all of my things on. Not to mention that I also have the option of sitting or standing, and it's just a really nice thing to have, especially when I'm working from home. I used to do everything on my custom PC, and it was a good budget option for me at the time, but the projects that I do now require something that's portable and modular. My MacBook Pro is now the core of my setup, and it allows me to work fast, switch between projects, and travel, because sometimes I'll work on my bed, because it's a lot more comfortable sometimes. But anyway, I use many peripherals, and the main ones are my mouse, my keyboard, and drawing tablet. Something that's kind of funny is that whenever people look at my setup and they see that I have a left-handed mouse, they'll ask me if I'm left-handed, and I'm actually not. I'm completely right-handed. So the reason that I have it set up this way is specifically because of photo editing. Typically what I'll do is I'll draw in the edits with this pen tool on the drawing tablet, and then I'll move the cursor and zoom in and out with the scroll wheel, and it makes for a really fast workflow whenever I'm editing. The monitor hasn't changed at all. This is a Philips monitor, and it's held up by a VESA desk mount. I'd eventually like to upgrade the monitor, as there are many better options, especially when it comes to editing, but this thing gets the job done, and if anything, I can just rely on my laptop screen. Of course, when I'm in my workspace, I try to keep everything in a good mood, and this is achieved with the lighting in my room. In the back, you can kind of see these lights that I hung up, and I also put a new lamp on my shelf, and I got both of these things at IKEA, and they really help with the ambient mood lighting. My main desk light is dimmable and can change color temperature, which is super useful for when I'm filming videos, and it's for this reason that it serves as my key light. I also can't forget my dimmable wine glass light. It also helps fill in the shadows, and it also contributes to the overall ambience. I used to make a lot of videos about productivity, philosophy, and photography, and my workspace took a lot of design notes in, I guess, the sort of photography realm of things, but I decided to shift away from those topics and focus more on music, so my workspace is now taking a more music-centered approach at its design. For my audio setup, I switched from the Audient ID22 to a Volt 276 audio interface. This is somewhat of a downgrade because the Volt has less inputs and outputs, but the main perks of this is that it has a built-in compressor and that it does not need an external power source. So it's powered by the laptop itself, and it doesn't need extra cables or anything like that. The audio setup I have isn't really different than what it used to be. So there are 2 1/4-inch cables that feed into the preamp, and this unit powers both the left and the right speakers of my setup. You can see this thing on my desk, and basically it's my pedal board that I've been putting together for an upcoming project. I'll be talking about it in a future video, but basically I have this here for when I'm playing guitar or when I'm doing content creation with music. If you look under my desk, I have a guitar amp there, and it's technically not a great spot in terms of what sonically sounds good in a room, but I placed it there for accessibility for when I'm recording music. It's currently mic'd up to a Shure SM57, which I occasionally use for voiceovers. And that's my workspace and desk setup. I'd like to say that everything was designed with intention for the most part. I think everything works together in terms of aesthetics, and I do really like working in this space. It does feel truly comfortable, and it's easy for me to focus on the work that I'm doing. I think there are some things I could improve on, like for example, I still need to cable manage, but it's okay. That's it. Thanks for watching.